Hey guys, welcome to part 3 of My Friend Gia. I hope you guys have been enjoying my beautiful thumbnail so far. I have no doubts that YouTube will not disappoint and will have an equally flattering one for this video. But anyway, this week's story about Gia is probably going to be one of my favorite ones because it tells you a lot about her personality and particularly how she interacts with the opposite sex. So, a little bit of background information. Gia has 2 best friends, Aria and Veronica, from high school, who she's known for like ever, and last week it was Aria's birthday, so they decided to go out and have a bit of a party, and they invited me to come along. So this story is about how this really cute guy came up to Gia and was totally hitting on her, and she completely failed at her flirting game. So, it was like Saturday night, and we were out at this like great place, awesome music. We were totally old enough to get in, swiftly moving on anyway. And this, like, we were having a good time, like Justin Timberlake was playing, like we were getting into it, you know, and this guy comes over and he's like really well dressed and he's like super cute and he like introduces himself. I think his name was like Will or something like that. And like he's making like small talk with us, but it's pretty clear that he's interested in Gia because, like, you know, she looked really hot that night. Like she was wearing this like awesome dress. It's on her Instagram. And anyway, so like he was really only talking to her, we could tell. So he kind of like starts to ask these like polite questions, but again, like it's pretty clear that he just wants to find out more about Gia. So me, Aria, and Veronica kind of just like stood a bit on the side and was like totally pretending to not eavesdrop, even though we were listening to everything they were saying. And the music was really loud, but we could kind of hear what was happening. So they were making like small talk, you know, asking each other like polite little questions, and then Gia went, "So what do you do?" Because, you know, he was in like this like shirt and pants and stuff, and he looked a little older than us. And she was like, "So what do you do?" And he was like, oh, he made some joke about like courtroom dramas or something like that. And then he goes, "So I'm a barrister." And maybe she didn't hear because the music was really loud, or maybe she's just an idiot, but she was like, "Oh, so you make coffee?" Like, literally the first thing that pops up when you type in barrister on Wikipedia is not to be confused with barista. Like, she had one job. She actually just had one job. Anyway, I think she realized her mistake because he was like, "Ah, haha, good joke." I don't know, maybe he was being polite, or maybe he just thought that she was like way hot, so it was just worth it. But she started to panic after that because she just got fixated on the fact that she just made a complete fool of herself. So we're on the side trying not to laugh, but we are just not going to jump in and help because it's way too funny. So, you know, he asked her, "So what do you do?" And she doesn't want to say that she goes to high school because, like, that's weird. You don't want to tell, like, a hot guy that you're still in high school when he's, like, standing in a suit in front of you. So I don't know where this came from in her head, but she was like, "Oh, we're in a band and we just finished a gig, so we're out to celebrate." Like, when you say something like that, obviously somebody else is going to ask, like, questions about this mysterious imaginary band that you just made up, which is exactly what he does, because he's like, "Oh, hey, that's so cool, like, what type of music do you play?" Apparently, we have been super inspired by the reggae sounds that we heard on the streets of South Africa. Like, I don't know where she comes up with this. I mean, I don't know the first thing about reggae or South Africa. Like, I've never even been to South Africa. I mean, I heard it's a great place, landscapes are great, might get stabbed because it's super dangerous, but, you know, the nightlife is awesome. Would totally want to go one day, but that doesn't mean that I have a band based on South Africa. Anyway, apparently I play the triangle in the band, and I can't. Like, she sings, Aria raps, because we both need a singer and a rapper in a reggae band. Anyway, I'm pretty sure this guy knew that she was just, like, panicking, or maybe he thought that she was just, like, out of it or something. I don't know, but for some reason he stuck around and continued to listen to her crazy talk. And, you know, he was so interested in this imaginary band of ours. And then came the dreaded question, "What's your band called?" Like, Gia looked at us as if we were meant to help her out. I mean, we couldn't stop cracking up because we were just trying to imagine Aria rapping and, like, Veronica playing the bongo drums. And he just is like, "Oh, so what's the band called?" Like, "Oh, cool." And she goes, "Oh, we're called the Cape Town Coolios." Like, why am I friends with her? Like, I genuinely don't even know what her problem is. I mean, needless to say, I think that guy got a little freaked out of that because he was like, okay, cool, so like, see you around, and then like, walked away. And then Gia kind of just did this for like the next like 20 minutes, which is an accurate depiction of everyone's reaction to that, because I don't know where she came up with that band idea, but I mean, she loves to just make up stuff in her head sometimes. I think she lives in this imaginary world, but when it comes to flirting with cute guys, all of her dreams and imaginations just come out. And it's usually hilarious for us and extremely embarrassing for her. So if you guys have ever experienced anything similar to that, probably not as crazy as Gia, but any like terrible flirting incidents that you've had, any like terrible cheesy pickup lines that guys have used, or if you've used them, I mean, that's great too. Leave a comment below. I would love to hear them. I'm sure Gia would love to know that she's not alone in her sorrows. In the meantime, you can check out Gia's Instagram page for a second sneak peek into all the crazy stuff she's up to during the week, or her lame puns that she comes up with, because there's plenty. As usual, I will leave it in the description box below. It's Gia_Winters. Also, don't forget to subscribe or click thumbs up if you liked this video and this hilarious story about Gia. There will be another one next week, so you guys are going to have to wait until then. But in the meantime, don't forget to comment and subscribe. So I will see you guys next week when I have more information about the crazy antics of Gia Winters. Lucky me. See you guys then. Bye!